I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a crazy love, moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a crazy love, moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
There's Olivia, enjoying her edamame as the sunlight filtered through the canopy. And next to her is her eldest son Hero. He is a fine lad, strong-limbed and steady-eyed. What is peculiar, for a male of his age, is that he is still here within his natal troop. She has a baby on the way. The clan members are slowly beginning to show up, one by one, as if the forest is quietly assembling its inhabitants. One of the most captivating things is to watch the family tree grow, one child at a time, season after season. Sophie is building her big family, her daughters Ariel and Athena, two beautiful girls who carry their mother's gentleness. Then a son Alaric, the boy with an eye freckle. And now, the newest star, Ustra. She reminds me of Ariel when she was just a tiny tot. Hierarchy determines almost everything in their lives: where they rest, who they groom, and how much they eat. For a low-ranking member like Lulu, her very presence on the feeding grounds draws many disdainful glances. The message is clear enough. Lulu retreats to an inconspicuous position. Heather is so energetic, she just wants to launch herself into the unknown. But Mum Rocky is very cautious, vigilant. She still doesn't allow it. The relentless afternoon sun beats down. Many have found a resting spot under the leaves, shielding them from the scorching heat. They go about their businesses, grooming, napping, the unhurried rhythm of troop life. June is now a fully-fledged juvenile. In the dappled shade, there's Jade's second baby girl, Bloom. She has grown a bit since the last time we saw her. Her features are sharper now, and her movements are also more deliberate. She's already beginning to take shape as a distinct little personality in the crowded nursery of the troop. Ron's throwing a fit as Mum is reluctant to nurse. Blossom gets her share of attention from Mum. Being the tolerant mum she is, Izzy gave in after only a few minutes. Here we have Lulu's newest addition to the family, Leafy, another boy. All of Lulu's children are boys. When her sons are ousted, she will be left with the only memory of their childhoods, and the hope that they will thrive somewhere. But she still has time, she is young, healthy, and in her prime. Each season ahead of her still carries the possibility of a different outcome, a daughter to keep her company. Eyeshadow is enjoying her ear of corn, and Little Bear is trying to get a bite out of it. Buttercup sits close by, nibbling on her edamame pod. Eyeshadow has very beautiful children, all of them. Every child she raised carries the same delicate features, the big round eyes, and the finely shaped muzzles. They left as soon as they saw Wild making his way here. Sky is expecting. Sky stands out from her brothers and sisters in appearance, being the only child in Zoe's family who clearly exhibits traits from her mother and her father, Cole. Zoe is an experienced mother. This time she has a baby boy, Twiggy. Zoe rests on a branch, but Twiggy doesn't settle easily. He is a bundle of restless energy. He wriggles and squirms against Mum's chest. But Zoe doesn't fuss. She simply adjusts her position, absorbs his squirms and waits. She has done this many times before. Rena grooms her son Julio at a leisurely pace of a mother who has done this countless times before. Cute little Lucy latches onto Mum with the quiet confidence of a baby who knows that Milk Bar is always there to provide for her. Sarah's family is so elegant and stunning. Her offspring look exactly like her, all of them except one, her last son Ajay. He stands apart with features that seem to have been borrowed from another branch of the family tree. Lucy's wide, curious eyes scan her surroundings as she drinks from the stretched milk bar, her body loose and relaxed against her mother's fur. It looks like Leah has loosened her hold. Hayden has been granted permission to go on his own little adventure. Emboldened, he ventures a few steps farther from Mum's shadow. The branches and leaves caught his attention briefly. He is curious about everything. Mum Leah allows his curiosity, while never taking her eyes off him. Hayden has discovered a branch, much bigger than him. He grips it with one hand and begins to rock it back and forth, as if it were the simple joy of rowing an imaginary boat on an invisible sea. But Hayden's little adventure will end soon. One call from Mum, or perhaps simply the limit of his own courage, will bring him scrambling back.
衰媽定醜媽？
衰嘛？
分嘢喺度咩？
曳仔，女定仔？
啊，佢唔理佢，由佢玩。
仔。
仔。
扣得最好，佢冇死過。
Chuck is Mum's little shadow. Wherever Olivia goes, he follows suit, never straying beyond arm's reach. She grooms him gently, meticulously parting strands of hair on his back. Wanting to return the favor, Chuck reaches up with his small hands. Twiggy is too young to be straying beyond arm's reach. Zoe watches as Twiggy takes his wobbly steps on the forest floor. Wild is Sis's backing. Ever since she was with Wild, his rank became her shield. But Wild is old, an old warrior. His fur is thinner, and his movements are slower. 4 years, he was a pillar of the troop, Skullhead's second. As of today, he is no longer with us. The dynamics on Monkey Hill have shifted tremendously. The old faces that once defined the troop's hierarchy, those connected to the great skull head, seem to be gradually disappearing into the void, one by one. Talia has 3 children, her first daughter, Anna, then Antonio, and now Andre. All of them show the unmistakable stamp of her face. Kiara is a playful, bubbly kid. She's having the time of her life with little Emmett, the first star of 2025's baby season. Cassie is the late matriarch Abby's sister. I suspect that Cora could be Cassie's daughter, and perhaps she had sons as well, boys that would have long been ousted and scattered into the wider forest. Now, only Tayton and Taylor are in the troop. Chloe has finally pitched up with her little girl Sol. She is one of the lowest-ranking members of the troop, a female who kept to the edges, who ate last and melted into the shadows whenever another higher-ranking individual approached. She had no protection beyond her own wariness. Sol is utterly adorable. She has a rad hairline, flat across the forehead, which makes her brow ridge stand out distinctly, almost as if she has a grumpy little face. Twiggy climbed onto a familiar-looking back, but he had recognized the wrong back. Lucky for him, Leah isn't feeling cranky today. Twiggy is the kind of baby that makes you stop and smile. He's a very curious baby, wandering here and there, unaware of the hierarchical rules that prevail in the troop. He is too young to know that a stare or an intrusion into personal space could well be a challenge. He still has a lot to learn, and Mum will teach. Sometimes babies get a pass for irritating other adults. Rules can be bent for the very young. Mum Zoe is vigilant. She is there to watch his every unpredictable move. And when things get too risky, she retrieves him with a gentle pull. No mother would want her child to learn it the hard way.